when standing out becomes your superpower. Have you ever felt like you just don't fit in? Like the very things that make you different are somehow wrong? That feeling of being the perpetual outsider, the square peg in a world of round holes, it's universal, yet painfully isolating. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Phoenixx Smith on the Soft Girl Era podcast. And let me tell you, this conversation fundamentally altered everything I thought I knew about the power of embracing our differences. Phoenixx isn't just an artist or entrepreneur, she's a revolutionary force who has spent 2 decades in the music industry transforming her experiences with domestic violence, childhood trauma, and persistent outsider status into a platform that empowers others. What makes her truly remarkable isn't just her resilience in the face of adversity, but her ability to completely reframe what it means to be different in a world obsessed with conformity. What struck me most about our conversation wasn't just Phoenix's personal tenacity, though that was certainly remarkable, but how she's completely reimagined the concept of being an underdog. In Phoenix's world, being different isn't something to overcome or compensate for. It's your superpower, it's your competitive edge, it's the very thing that makes you irreplaceable. Think about that for a moment. The very qualities you've been trying to hide, minimize, or apologize for. What if they're actually your greatest assets? This isn't just feel good talk or inspirational fluff. This is revolutionary thinking with practical applications that can transform businesses, communities, and individual lives. And today, I want to share 3 profound insights from my conversation with Phoenixx that might just change how you see yourself and your place in the world. First, embracing your authentic self isn't just good for your soul, it's your competitive advantage in a world drowning in sameness. Second, self belief and what Phoenixx calls self parenting are essential foundations for sustainable success. And third, breaking generational patterns requires both courage and community. Let's start with authenticity. We've all heard the advice to just be yourself, right? It sounds simple, almost trite, but Phoenix's journey reveals something much deeper. Transparency about personal struggles can be transformative, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Consider Karan Hardiman, founder of Ginkgo Consulting Firm. After years in human resources, Hardiman kept witnessing organizations make the same mistake, implementing surface level inclusion efforts that looked impressive in annual reports, but created zero meaningful change. The disconnect between what companies said about inclusion and what employees actually experienced became painfully obvious. Instead of just complaining or conforming, Hardiman did something radical. He launched Ginkgo with a revolutionary premise. Organizational culture isn't just a fuzzy concept, it's a tangible business driver. His firm now helps organizations create authentic, people centric change that drives both inclusion and sustainable growth. What's fascinating about Hardiman's story is that his success didn't come from hiding his frustrations or playing by established rules. It came from leaning into his different perspective, his ability to see what others couldn't or wouldn't see. His differentness became his business model. This mirrors what Phoenixx discovered in her own journey. The most successful entrepreneurs and leaders often stand out precisely because they embrace what makes them different. They don't succeed despite their uniqueness, they succeed because of it. But here's the hard truth Phoenixx shared with me: embracing your authentic self requires something many of us struggle with: genuine self belief. This brings me to the second insight from our conversation. Self belief and self parenting are essential foundations for success. Phoenix's 20-year journey in music demonstrates that persistence combined with personal growth creates sustainable success, but that persistence has to be fueled by something deeper than just ambition. The internal work, Phoenixx told me, is just as important as the external hustle. Many of us have been taught that success comes from grinding harder, pushing through pain, sacrificing everything. But Phoenix's experience suggests something different. Success that lasts comes from building a healthy relationship with yourself first. Self parenting, the practice of giving yourself the support, boundaries, and compassion you might not have received growing up, creates a foundation for everything else. It's about treating yourself with the same care you give to someone you deeply love. This isn't self indulgence, it's strategic self investment. I'm reminded of Ashley Kelly, Senior Vice President at JP Morgan Chase. Kelly focuses specifically on supporting minority, uh, women, and veteran owned businesses, entrepreneurs who often face systemic barriers to accessing capital, mentorship, and growth opportunities. What makes Kelly's approach powerful is her deliberate focus on equity, creating space and opportunity for entrepreneurs who have traditionally been overlooked. While thriving professionally in South Phoenix with her F family, Kelly recognized the need for champions who could help bridge gaps for underrepresented entrepreneurs. Her stated goal is to create a lasting impact in the Phoenix community, demonstrating how individual commitment to equity can transform business landscapes. But her work isn't just about external support, it's about helping entrepreneurs develop the self belief necessary to persist when systems aren't designed for their success. This connects directly to Phoenix's message about the importance of self belief. When you've been overlooked and disregarded, when you're the underdog, at developing unshakable faith in yourself becomes not just helpful but essential. And this brings us to the third insight from my conversation with Phoenixx. Breaking generational patterns requires both courage and community. Phoenixx spoke candidly about overcoming obstacles like domestic violence, childhood trauma, and deep seated insecurity. What struck me was her understanding that healing these wounds wasn't just personal, it was about creating new possibilities for others who see themselves in her story. Breaking cycles isn't a solo endeavor. It requires both the courage to face difficult truths and a supportive community that validates your experience and helps you imagine new possibilities. Consider the work of Growth Partners Arizona, which has developed innovative character based loan programs specifically designed to support entrepreneurs from marginalized communities. Traditional lending systems often exclude promising entrepreneurs who lack conventional credit histories or face other financial barriers. By focusing on character rather than just credit scores, Growth Partners Arizona has created lending products that prioritize accessibility and fairness. Programs like the Kiva Loan Program, offering 0% interest, no fee micro loans, and the BIPOC Loan Fund have helped businesses that would otherwise be denied funding. One success story includes DeLuna Candles, which used a Kiva loan to open a second brick and mortar location, expanding its reach into more neighborhoods. Another family owned business used funding from the BIPOC Loan Fund to strengthen marketing efforts and secure trademarks, ensuring long term brand protection and growth. What's revolutionary about this approach is that it demonstrates how systems can be redesigned to value people who have traditionally been overlooked. Much like Phoenix's message about not fitting in and standing out instead. It shows that when we create spaces that recognize different forms of value, people who were previously excluded can thrive. This is the power of community in breaking cycles, creating new systems that validate different ways of being and contributing. So, what does all this mean for you? How do you take these insights and apply them to your own life? Phoenixx offered a powerful challenge that I want to extend to you today. Start a standing out journal where you document the very things you've been trying to hide or minimize about yourself. For 1 week, identify one different quality each day and explore how it might actually be a strength rather than a weakness. Then find or create a small community, even just two, three trusted people who can affirm these qualities and help you see your unique attributes as superpowers rather than liabilities. This simple practice can begin to shift how you see yourself and your place in the world. Because when you start to value what makes you different, you stop trying to fit into spaces that weren't designed for you and start creating spaces that celebrate all of who you are. As Phoenixx so eloquently put it during our interview, the world doesn't need another copy, it needs your original. I want to leave you with this challenge. What if the very thing that makes you feel like you don't belong is actually your greatest gift to the world? What if your differentness isn't a liability, but your most valuable asset? Today, I dare you to stop hiding, stop apologizing, stop trying to fit in where you were meant to stand out. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more people who blend in. It needs those brave enough to stand out, those willing to leverage their unique perspective to create solutions others can't see, build bridges others won't build, and speak truths others fear to speak. Your differences aren't mistakes to be corrected, they're superpowers waiting to be unleashed. So go forth and be gloriously, unapologetically different. The world is waiting for exactly what only you can bring.